what's going on, guys? Aaron Norris here with Shearperfection here at Mr. Pompadour, and today we're here with Ramon, and we are doing a follow-up video on taking care of the hair replacement unit and things that he was dealing with, things that he liked and didn't like about the hair unit. What is your lifestyle? What do you?
So lifestyle, as of late, I've been doing a lot of running because me and my brother are trying to train for our little half marathon that we're going to do at the end of July.
Okay.
But as of this year, I've ran close to 700 miles, so a lot of running.
Okay.
A lot of running. Now I'd like to add, like when I was going on the runs, it felt fine.
Okay.
It never felt like it was moving on me. It never felt like anything. It felt fine.
Okay.
At first, it took me a while to get used to the whole the hair touching my forehead, and not knowing that it was a fly or something in my face. But it was it felt fine. It was just one of those things that, and I explained to you, like at first, like just a little bit of the edge just came slightly off, but as soon as I cooled down and it dried, I mean, it felt like right back to normal.
Okay. What were your thoughts like confidence wise? Because as a barber, I'm feeling like, and I'm pretty sure, as people viewing from home, you're thinking like, okay, well, now that he has the hair, then all of a sudden confidence level is, level 1,000, and now he's gonna go out, the man, and like feeling like, confident in everything that he's doing because he got that little piece of, life back to him. Right? So what was your initial response as I spun you around, final product in the mirror?
Initial response was just like, my brain was just telling me, there's something in your head that doesn't belong.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
but as time went on, the first day, I went to Food Lion, and just the off chance of running into someone who did know me, I just didn't feel the confidence to just go in there, and I ended up having to talk myself in, and I forgot my hat, so I was like, you're gonna have to go in there, man, because you're not going back to the house to go get your hat. So I went in there, and it actually went smoothly. I ended up running into someone, and but not someone I knew, just someone that seen me before, and normal. So as those interactions started to come along, the more confident I felt, and as the days went on, like almost like my brain was just like, hey, this is a part of you, and it didn't it just felt more comfortable. It just felt more a part of me.
So it took you a couple of days to kind of
like today, I could say I was pretty used to it, not completely I don't want to see anyone because they're gonna call me out or make fun, or if I have a conversation, they're gonna stare at my hairline, or anything like that. So, but I think with time, it's a transition for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted you to have that instant oh snap, I'm ready to go out. You know what I mean? But it just didn't happen that way. You had to get used to it because you were already comfortable with being bald, right?
Yeah.
So and so it's kind of hard to transition over that quick.
Yeah.
What didn't you like about the unit?
I would say what I didn't like about the unit was like the maintenance, and the maintenance wasn't bad, but it was one of those things where when you're bald, you take a shower, dry off, and you're deodorant, you're done. and to be honest with you, I was having to dry the mirror out and mess with your hair. It was 5 minutes. So what I used to do when I did have hair, or less.
Yeah.
Because honestly, this stays. You don't have to mess with it. So, and when you had hair, you'd have to wake up and make sure it got wet, and then you'd have to dry it and then style it. So it takes a lot less time, but it was still more time than when you're bald.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
All right. Did you experience any itching or anything like that?
Yep. Towards the end, as it started to get a little bit, I don't know if it was the transition from it when I'd go exercise and then when I'd cool down. And as the glue was drying, I'd have that itch. Not sure if it was, I would say that, and it would be at night. It was mostly at night, and maybe it's because I have nothing going on. My senses are back to my.
Whenever you were running, why did you decide to put the hat on? Because it was kind of funny when you told me that. When you
yeah. So at
why
first,
did you decide to
there was a lot of reasons. The first one was it was a windy day, and I was a little afraid.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the second one, you told me to just go as if like how my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I like to run with a hat on because while I'm running, the sweat doesn't get in my eyes; it just goes onto the hat.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the next day, you know, I told you I'd run without the hat, and it felt fine. And yeah, it felt fine.
You want to be able to have it to where the scalp and the glue are able to breathe and be as dry as possible. So you chose to wear the hat because you didn't want the wind to like take the piece or like peel it back or whatever. But really, in turn, that keeping the hat on top of the head while it's hot outside, he's running and sweating, it's actually trapping that hot moisture in on the unit and allowing it to loosen the glue up. By the way, did the glue ever like dry back on after?
So yeah, once you cooled down, you know, it dried and it was good. It was good to go again.
Okay.
You know, I think to be honest, when I did have the hat on, and again, it goes back to how far you run. When I had the hat on, I think we went for like 5 miles. When I didn't have the hat on, we went for 3, and I almost felt like it was better with the hat on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not sure why. Like I just felt like the sun was hitting the top of my head.
Okay.
And then it was making the top of my head sweat even more.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of either or, like,
Either
right?
or.
Either or, tons of activity, sweating, and heat and moisture. I mean, it's gonna activate that. Okay, so how did you think that the unit was gonna look? Did you think it was gonna look like messed up, like at the end? You know how something looks super fake to where it's just like, bro, I'm not rocking this, bro. I'm not even walking out of the barbershop. You did all this for no reason. You know what I mean?
No.
So like, what?
I know that, and I'm not trying to make you happy here, but I know you've always done a really good job with everything that you've done. So I was always very optimistic about how it was gonna look.
Okay.
So yeah, I wasn't worried about that. I was just more or less worried about, I don't know. I wasn't worried about anything really.
Yeah. Okay. You weren't worried about like if the color was gonna match. You weren't worried about if we left it too long or if it just looked.
I was more worried about having it look like Tyler Van Devender, but no. But I was just more worried. No, I was good at it because you've always done a great job. So I was pretty optimistic about the way it was going to turn out. For sure.
All right. Okay. All right. Well. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, he knew he was in good hands. All right. All right. So after we did the haircut, after we did the styling with the natural beeswax paste, Mr. Pompadour, everybody, make sure y'all check that out. But after we styled the hair and did the haircut and everything, what was people's reactions?
Well, Christine here just kept looking at me, and she kept giving me googly eyes all the rest of the day.
Oh yeah.
But then she just kept FaceTiming everybody she could think of. She kept FaceTiming, her mom, her dad, her brothers who need it, and so they were very curious, and Catherine, her sister-in-law, was just like, I just thought Ramon chose to be bald. I didn't know he actually had hair, and she just thought it was like it looked that good and that natural. Where she just like, Ramon just decided to grow it back for the quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to add on to that.
No, a lot of friends and family were just completely blown away by it. They really thought that it was his natural hair, like, or he got some kind of implants.
Oh,
that was people were saying that too. They're like, oh, did Ramon go and get like hair implants or like a treatment? I was like, no, it's a hair unit, it's a system, and like, check out Shearperfection.
Wow.
I was like, look at all those great cuts that he does. Like, would you expect anything less? But like, it looks so good.
Yeah.
And he's gotten a lot of positive feedback. I don't think I've heard anything negative about it.
So they're not seeing just a unit on top of somebody's head. They're seeing the full, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like a lot of guys are feeling if they ever try it, or if they have tried it. They're feeling that, okay, if I put this thing on, that's what everybody's looking at.
Yeah.
But that's not what people are looking at. People are looking at, they're looking at you, but they're seeing the whole entire like haircut as a whole. Did y'all have anybody else like hit y'all up about getting man units or hair replacement systems or anything?
Catherine, you can tell Catherine what she's
Yeah, so my brother's definitely receding a little bit.
Oh yeah?
So she's like, we have to convince him. I was like, just let us know, come on down.
Okay.
And we'll set you up with Aaron. And then one of my friends is getting married soon, and his hairline's receding as well.
Wow,
And,
okay.
She was just like, we'll have to consider it. So,
Right.
And I think a real nervous part for me was like also the blending and everything, and how he was gonna look afterwards.
Okay.
And I feel like you did a great job of matching like the hair with his natural hair and being able to blend it all together so that like the finished product looks super natural. And like you can tell he's very modest, but like he looks good. Like people notice it, and people want to
You do
compliment.
look good, man.
Yeah.
Like honestly, you look like when I first met you, when I first got to college, bro. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember that.
Yeah.
That's how you look right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
And it's just it's crazy to see it. Like as soon as I put it on and we cut it and blended everything, I was just like, damn. Even when I was doing even when I was going home doing the editing on the photos and like the videos, I'm just sitting here like, dang man, like that's when I first met him, man. That's how he looked. So I just thought that was crazy.
No, I think again at first it was just one of those things. It was kind of like I literally the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Even to myself.
Yeah.
But as it started to lay down and my hair, like Christine said, it's blended in really, really well, and it's kind of just when I look in the mirror, it's normal.
Right.
And I do feel good. Like I do feel a little boost of confidence.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Cool. Yeah, I like it.
When did you get the haircut? When did we apply everything? That was how long ago now? That was
Saturday.
Saturday? And it's what?
No, it was Saturday.
It was Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. Saturday after work. Yeah, Saturday after work. Okay, so we applied it Saturday, and today is Wednesday. So that's about what, 4 days? But that's with a super active lifestyle. So running, coaching, sweating. I mean, yeah. And what? Do you feel like we need to do a touch up or anything like that? Do you think
I could make it. Yeah.
Saturday?
I think as far as, to be honest, like as far as looks, yes. As far as looks, yeah. As far as like the comfort, it was one of those things where, like when you first put it on, it felt very, very comfortable.
Okay.
And now, like again, because my hair started to grow.
Okay.
And I think it might be a mixture of that and sweat.
Yeah.
That it's gotten itchy. And at night, that's where it starts to be a little bit like, I might just redo this again.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I could go for another week.
Okay.
Probably.
All right. Because so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create a log on how long the unit will last for somebody who has a super active lifestyle. We're trying to see what those activities are, how long the glue is going to last, how long, how long maintenance you can keep up with maintenance before you come in for your next, haircut and reapplication, versus someone who is just chilling pretty much most of the time. They're inside cool areas and stuff like that. So we're just creating a log here. Like a documentation just to kind of get a good feel for the hair systems and man units if people are interested in getting them. That way we can give you guys a better insight on how long they'll last and things that you'll be feeling once you get like 3-4 days out in the process. All right, so one of the main questions that you'll probably end up getting or having for the man unit is, can I wash, shampoo my hair, get it wet, go swimming, different types of things like that. And what I was telling Ramon is you can get it wet, just like in the previous video. You know, as soon as we applied it, you know, I wet the hair and cut it to blend into his hair. So you can get the unit wet. You just want to limit the contact that you have with water. Okay. As far as shampooing and conditioning goes, I mean, like I said, you want it to last as long as possible. So you want to kind of stay away from shampooing and conditioning, you know, at all, really, if you can. If anything, I would say maybe once a week, but I wouldn't go any more. I wouldn't go any more past that. Just because we want it to be able to stay and you know, be applied for a longer period of time. So you want to kind of stay away from moistures, you know, water, shampoo, that kind of stuff. Also because it can kind of like get, I guess, trapped in the unit or up under the unit, and then it can kind of cause the glue to just loosen up and then not work at all. So like I said, I would stay away from shampooing. Now you could probably use like a dry shampoo. That would work. You ever heard of dry shampoos and stuff? Dry shampoos would definitely work. You know, things of that nature. You want to, like I said, you want to stay away from moisture because that also plays a role in how long the unit will last. Okay, so I'm not saying that, you know, you can't get in the pool and you can't like go swimming, but you don't want to. You want to try and limit it. Okay, pick your battles. That's all I'm gonna say. Pick your battles with these hair units, all right? Because I would hate for somebody to come in here and be like, yo, I can go swimming with this thing, and I say, yeah, and then they dive in, and then all of a sudden the toupee or the system is floating on top of the water, and then he come up like that, and you know the water is just slicking off of that bald spot on the head. You know what I mean? That would just be terrible. So, but like I said, we're trying to give you like an accurate depiction of these man units so that we feel comfortable providing the service and that you feel comfortable getting the service and living the lifestyle with the hair unit.
Is there a difference between using synthetic hair versus natural hair, and like how the maintenance is and the upkeep on it? Okay, so that's a really good question. All right, so the difference between the synthetic hair and natural hair or human hair, I think it would be the coarseness of the hair and being able to color it. So with synthetic hair, you're not really able to color that hair. You see what I'm saying? Also, it would be a lot coarser. And those are things to take into consideration, because if somebody has fine black hair and I order a unit that is like a coarser, even though it's straight hair, if I order a coarser unit and it's still black, it's not gonna match what their hair looks like. You see what I'm saying? So with fine hair, I'd say human hair is more the route of being fine and has a little bit more movement to it. Synthetic hair is a little bit is more like thick and coarser straight hair, if that makes sense. Also with human hair, I believe you are able to color human hair. You are able to dye it, bleach it, stuff like that as well. But like I said, once you do the bleaching and stuff like that, the short haircuts with the units, you kind of have to get another one if you want to switch up styles. All right, I'd say that's the only thing. Unless you use a longer hairstyle and then you gradually start cutting and going towards the shorter hairstyles. But yeah, I'd say that those are the two differences.
Also like human hair, it's more natural, right? Even though the synthetic pieces, they can look natural as well. I just feel like it's effortless for the human hair to kind of blend and look real.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. That was a really good question. And this is, I've only done a little bit of research on the whole entire deal, like the glue, the scalp protectant, the units. So I'm pretty new to it, but all the research and stuff that I've done is based off of watching other barbers and seeing what works, what doesn't work. Looking at their comments, people commenting under here and saying, "Oh, hey, this glue actually didn't work for me because this, that, and the other," or this glue did work for me, but the unit it didn't fit like my lifestyle, which goes back to the two bases. For Ramon, he's more active, right? So we want to make sure that we have a breathable base for the unit. With somebody who is just hanging out and not really doing much, they might want to have the unit that has more of a hold, more of the silicone base. That way it just sticks. And I'm pretty sure based off of that, they'll have a longer experience as far as how long the unit will last. By the way, if there is anybody out there who wants to, who pretty much has the opposite lifestyle of being like super active, running 10 plus miles almost every day. If you have more of a, office type job setting, it's just work, go home, relax. You're not really doing much or at all any activities. Try to get in contact with us so that we can create another log for how the systems are going to work and how they contrast with different lifestyles. Because I think that would be pretty cool to kind of see, how long they last for different people. So just give it a shot, guys. What would y'all want to say to anyone who's thinking about it?
I think if you're not a super proud member of the ball community, and even then, I put it on, and it's one of those things where there's times, if I wasn't as active, I think you can be active, right? But maybe not as active. I think even then I'd maybe start thinking about keeping it. Yeah. But again, like I told you, at 23, 24, when I was losing my hairline, I think at that time, again, with that transition is maybe a little bit easier. I for sure would have done it. Okay. My brother's he's super scared about losing his hairline because he sees me and he's always like, man, my hairline and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, just go get a unit. And like it's got to a point where even he started to think about it. And I really don't think it's a bad option at all because, it looks super. It looks real. It looks like a part of you. And
me knowing what you look, knowing like that you are.
Let me tell you this. I forgot to tell you this.
I can't even realize.
My sister, she's thought I did some shampooing as hair transplants. My sister, she knows I'm bald.
Wow.
She came home from Michigan,
Wow.
And today she told me, she was just like, it's that, because I told her I had to come see you, and I was like, yeah, it's a piece, and she was like, oh, I thought you did some transplants.
Wow.
And it looks very real.
Yeah.
I think if you're about to do it, it's just one of those things that don't be afraid to do it. Because even though I did it because like I said at the beginning, it was just it seemed funny. I was like, I seen you a picture of my hairline this because I've been growing my Corona quarantine hair. And I was like, Aaron, can you fix this? And then you were like excited. You're like, yeah, I could actually do something. And it turned into something where I was like, you know what, like let's do it. And so for everyone who's kind of like, no, I don't want to go through any shame. I have not gone through any shame. Like no one's been like, yo, look at that.
Because it's a real thing.
Yeah, that's what I would be the most scared of. It's just like, are people going to call me out and it's one of those things where I'm gonna be super embarrassed.
Right.
That hasn't happened like at all.
Okay.
And I know I've only had it for about a week.
Yeah.
But it's been one of those things where everything has been super positive.
Yeah. Okay.
To the point where I'm just like, and then.
What? Hold on. What?
There's times where, but.
Okay.
But,
All right.
For me, I think it's just the time for the upkeep, which again isn't bad, but when you're coming from the football community, it's nothing.
Okay.
So if you're already used to if you're already spending 20 minutes trying to cover up a ball spot like this, you'll spend less time with the hair unit for sure.
Okay. So I mean, you said something a little earlier. Okay. So how do you know if you are a candidate for the hair system? Okay. So I was thinking about that, and it's if you have a receding hairline, if you're super if you're thinning really bad, or if it's just to the point where your confidence is just you don't have it anymore. You used to have locks, and now everything is pretty much almost gone. Any of those three, I feel like you are a valid candidate for the system, because it can potentially restore those things. And like you were saying, this brings me back to what I wanted to say. You want to try, we want to try to catch guys who are beginning to bald, right?
Yeah.
That way we can better hide.
I think it's that transition.
Yeah, that transition. Yeah.
It's that transition from, how many people. It's almost like how many people know you as completely bald.
Okay.
And how long that time has been.
Okay.
And so those interactions.
Right.
And if that transition is much smaller and less people know you as that hair thinning guy or that balding guy or the bald guy, then I think it would be a lot easier for them.
Right.
Even for me, even if let's say I really wanted to, I'm single, I really wanted to go out there and catch women like I used to when I was 20 or whatever.
Right,
if that's what you are if I could just get my hairline back, I could could definitely catch a girl, or whatever it is. I think even if that was my lifestyle and I was single, I would probably keep this for sure. Okay. I really would, because it's not bad. It really isn't. I think it's been fantastic the week I've had it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I would also compare it to women wearing wigs and weaves and just different extensions. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just for men though. Yeah. And that's all it is. Which is the crazy part, man, because everybody's kind of freaking out and just oh, he's got a unit, he's got a. Well, yeah, she wears a piece, she wears a wig, she wears it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the same thing, but just for men. So, it's kind of crazy how people react for men having hair pieces than how they react for women. But it's kind of weird.
It's one of those. Again, I go back. I don't think people are gonna be able to tell. Mm-hmm. I really don't. Right. I think they won't be able to tell. Yeah. If you're someone who's thinning, and you put on a man unit and it just kind of just fills everything in that's kind of been going away, I don't think they'd be like, oh, why are you wearing it? I don't think they'll be able to tell. I really don't. Okay. Even with me, it's confused enough people where I'm just it's hilarious. It's I'm super bald, and they're just like, oh, your hair grew back. Right. I was telling, my kids. I saw two of my kids yesterday when I was coaching, and I've been making fun of them, I'm growing my hair out, and I was showing them throughout we'd have Zoom meetings, and then I'd have my hairline, and they'd make fun of me, boy, your hairline looks like this, boy, your hairline looks like that, and then yesterday I saw two of them, and I took my hat off, and they were just like, it grew back really well. And
yeah, see, they don't
I thought they were just like, yo, coach, what do you have on your head, or whatever, and because even them, and they were just like, looks good, coach.
Right. And I also think that a lot of people don't actually really know about this part of this industry. You know what I mean? They don't know about, you know, units and, you know, applying them, you know, gluing them to the head and all this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't know about this. They think of the extremes like the hair transplants and, you know, stuff that costs like thousands and thousands of dollars. They don't know that there's like a, you know, that temporary fix, you know, for what, 2 to 3 weeks or whatever. But yeah, so and that's like sort of the beauty of it, is that it's not really done, but there are a lot of people who are doing the hair systems and stuff. And so I think it's like one of those like underground clubs that are like, that's like growing, you know what I mean? And then like whenever you surface and you go out in front of everybody, they don't even know. It's like, yeah, you got hair, all right, cool. You know what I mean? So
I think
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think like you were saying, when I got out of here, I just thought everybody would be able to call me out on it, and that's what I was mostly afraid of. Like the Food Lion story and going out stories. Like I was just like, people are gonna be able to call me out on it every, you know, and that's what I was afraid of. So again, but that hasn't happened. That now, just fills you with more confidence to be like, all right, I'm just gonna go out without a hat, and you just start. It starts to feel more normal, and as time goes on, you kind of just forget about it.
All right, now being a proud member of the ball community, do you feel like if you had a little more time with the unit, do you feel like
I would keep it? Me?
No.
Again,
no.
But,
okay, that's fine.
But here's why.
Right.
One, married, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And then, I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm married, and then I think that I don't have to like.
Yeah, you don't have to go. You don't have to fool anybody.
And I feel super comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, I don't feel like I look completely horrible. You know, what you want me to keep it?
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. See, hey, listen.
She loves it. She loves it.
Yeah. So you love it. You love it, right, Christian?
Yeah.
You
Well,
love
I think like it has such a negative connotation when you think about a hairpiece. Like immediately you think of a toupee, and you're like, you think of like the funny videos where the wind blows.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
But like when you look at this, it's completely different.
Right.
And I think one, it has to do with a lot like your confidence in the person who's doing it, and then two, just like it looks so natural. It looks normal for him. So it's.
Wait a minute, hold on.
mean,
So we got all right. So we got a little bit of a conflict here. Okay,
I'm stuck in the middle.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a proud member of the ball community right here, and says the only reason why he won't keep it is because he's already married. But the fiance, she says otherwise. She loves the unit.
No, she doesn't say otherwise.
She loves the unit. She wants you to keep it.
She does like it a lot.
You like it a lot?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So does that make I couldn't even get it out.
Bro, no.
Does that cause you to be on the fence about thinking about keeping it a little bit more, or no? Like her liking it? No. Okay.
I think if the maintenance, as far as like, you know, having to come in here and then get it back.
But it's like getting a regular haircut though.
Yeah. I know, but it's still. Do you know what my regular haircuts used to be?
All right. Okay.
And even then, like, you know, like you were saying, I coach. Most of them, I always have a hat on because I don't want the sun in my eyes or all that stuff. So most of your time as a coach, you have a hat on.
Okay.
So for me, it's one of those. You know, it's just easier for me to be bald.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, I mean, I'll accept that, but I don't know
Listen,
about.
I'm telling you, 5 years ago, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
So you're gonna keep it going on for a few more weeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, man. If anything, you know, please try to keep it on for like one more week Okay, one more week, y'all. All right, because I just one more week, man. Seriously, please, because the reason why is because I really want to be able to get, and I know you're super comfortable, but I really want you to get a certain level of confidence and trust in the system to where it wants you to, it conflicts your decision on, you know,
Bro, it's
wanting to go back.
All.
Hey, but listen though.
Hers is conflicted. Hers is conflicted.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
I got
You
you.
know what I'm saying?
I just want to see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's what I'm more interested in, like the scientific side of it, right? Not like the confidence side of it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't need it, right? Like,
Yeah.
some of
I
this
don't need it.
Don't.
Did it
Okay.
give me a boost? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen,
All right.
I was in my raggedy taggedy
I wanna know what happens
Honda
after-
Civic, like, hey ladies.
But so 4 days in, everything seems to be going well. It's staying
Yeah.
on. It's not moving around even with the active lifestyle. But like, I'd be curious to see what happens after like an extra week. So
Okay.
what happens after 10 days or 14? 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That piece, like, in a way, it would put you in a really weird spot. But I want to see it almost like peeling. Like, I'd be very curious to see what your experience is like as you start to notice it. Like, as soon as it starts doing that, come in here, we'll get you fixed up. But like, I'd just be more or less curious as to like what that looks like
Yeah.
for you.
Well,
And you know what I mean?
yeah, well, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
it's all. That's why that's why I hit him up today. I was just like, dude, it's peeling to the point where, you know, and again, I think when I was sweating, it might have moved a little bit, because yesterday we were going, you know, we ran the 3 mile and we were going like really fast.
Oh yeah,
and all
we
that
didn't
stuff.
even mention that. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
that's
Okay.
why-
So
Yeah, so
yeah,
like
we
if
didn't even
you,
mention that.
Just like talking about like, you know, how has it been for the first 4 days? Like ask that question. Like,
Okay.
Is it peeling? Are
Gotcha.
you noticing like the glue
Gotcha.
actually moving? Like, what
Gotcha.
are your thoughts on
Gotcha.
that? It's like the confidence is one piece, but like the actual performance of the piece. too,
Right.
I think it's really interesting. for a lot
Okay.
of people.
All right. So real quick, all right, we got another question. So, the past 4 days, what happened with the unit? Like, what was the maintenance like? So after you ran, you know, you put the hat on or anything.
yeah.
Did the unit slide around? Did it peel? Like, what is the unit like? What is it doing so far?
How's it doing so far? So, like right now, you know, it's cool in here.
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's pretty on there. But even like today, I was working in the house a little bit, and I started to build up a sweat. And it was one of those things where every time I, like, because we were putting down the new like tile in the baby's room, and you know, when I'd go over like this to hammer it so it would be tight, like I could feel it come up because I started to build that sweat.
So
Like,
you
so
felt
yeah, I would go like this, and then I'd go like that, and then I'd feel like, you know, it would come off a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a very, very
I sweat.
heavy sweater.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Ah, okay.
So I also sweat. You know this.
I do know-
'Cause from
I
Mount
do know
Olive,
this,
I'd
yeah.
be the only guy with the squishy shoes at the end of the training session, like squish, 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 squish. So
Right,
that
okay.
adds to it. Like you could probably, like my brother,
Yeah.
he's been running beside me all the time, and he doesn't
He doesn't
break as
sweat
much
that
as I
much.
sweat.
Yeah.
He'll sweat, but it's
Okay.
nowhere near, like I'm leaving puddles.
Okay.
So that's another thing to add to
So
it
a
as
good
well.
a good question to ask someone if they came in for a consultation,
Yeah.
which is another thing we kind of need to talk about.
Yeah.
When somebody comes in to receive a man unit, what will the consultation consist of? And that will be: do you sweat a lot? What's your lifestyle? Do you swim a lot? Do you wash your hair a lot?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. What else? What else? do you think?
You know, I wouldn't have the confidence to wash this more than once,
Right.
almost every 10 days.
Okay.
I really wouldn't, because even like I take semi-hot showers,
Okay.
and that's just gonna, you know, like you said, loosen it,
Yeah, it'll
loosen it
loosen,
up.
yeah.
And I feel like if I were to put my hair under there, or the unit,
Mm-hmm.
calling it hair. Look at that.
Yeah, hey, it's growing on. It's growing on.
So if I were to, wash it, I'd feel like it would come off.
Okay.
I don't know if it would, but my feeling would be that it would just like, all of it would just kind of dissolve, and then it would just come off.
Okay.
Even as I shower, and it's a hot shower, and I've been trying to keep it short because of it. Like you start to smell the glue just from the steam, and it's come down like my face a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Were you
Yeah.
alert?
Go ahead.
Well, so did you like break out or anything like that with
I mean,
the glue?
I have
or
like
anything?
these breakouts, and I'm not sure if that's the reason why, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Because I've also kind of like, it's been hard because I don't know how to wash my face without having my whole
Your whole head wet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Wow. Okay. All right. So so that's probably another thing to kind of think about is skin sensitivity. Like on the scalp and then on the forehead area as well.
yeah.
Also, just to kind of backtrack, even though Ramon does sweat a lot, I feel like as well, and we were kind of having a conversation about this. That front hairline piece, I believe, will always be the first area to peel, just because of whenever you sweat. Where does the sweat start? It starts at the top of the brow, right?
Yeah.
Like you start to sweat from up here. Also, whenever raising your eyebrows and crinkling up your forehead, all those things I feel like plays a small role in that unit loosening up, maybe over a little bit of time, especially when it's hot, humid, there's moisture. I feel like that plays a role in loosening up the glue and having the unit to kind of peel. All right, guys, so that was the quick update and recap on Ramon's hair replacement system. All right, this was day 5, and hopefully Ramon is gonna continue to go through this for one more week. All right, just so he can give us more updates and just give us a more accurate kind of deal with the whole hair system. All right, that way we can give you guys more accurate information. So if you're interested in getting these man units or hair replacement systems, please let us know. We are very interested in having different types of people and their different lifestyles to experience and try these units out. That way we can better serve our community through the barbering industry. This has been an eye-opening experience for me. I hope it has been for you guys. That's it. This is Shearperfection here at Mr. Pompadour, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and follow. You guys have anything you want to say?
Thank you.
Hey, Go Bald community, we love you guys. If you ever want to convert, come to Mr. Pompadour. We got you. We're going to hook you up, all right? It's Man Unit System time. Let's go.